Okay, I'm hiking up this old mining road. I just came from that way, over the hill there, and down the road you see there. It comes down here and makes a hard right turn right about here and continues up this way. Here it gets a little steep and the road is really rough here. There's no way my Corolla could have made it up this portion. And on the part I just hiked, there were a couple 100-foot sections of road that were washed out that my Corolla would not have been able to handle. So that's why I'm hiking this. It's only a 2-mile hike to reach the abandoned mine that we're going to. But yeah, pretty desolate landscape out here. It's 94 degrees today, not a cloud in the sky, and good hiking weather. So let's get back on the road and get to this abandoned mine. So here at this abandoned talc mine, you see remnants of an ore bin that has since collapsed right here in front of me. And up on top there are remnants of a trestle that still has ore cart tracks on it. And that came out and probably dumped into the ore bin that's no longer standing here. And that led directly into the tunnel. So let's go up there and check out that tunnel and see how extensive it is. So there's a side view of that trestle and the remains of the ore bin that was below it. So here's the trestle, what's left of it. The tracks come off the trestle. They kind of curve here to the right and continue this way. And there's a Y intersection up here with the tracks. And the good ore went in the ore bin that was behind us, where the trestle is. The waste rock went over here on this branch right here. See the ore cart tracks? There's a Y intersection. It's covered up by gravel now, but there was a Y split here, and the waste rock, I guess, went onto this pile. And like I said, all the good ore was taken over there to the trestle and dumped in the ore bin that used to be standing there. And then trucks would pull up underneath the ore bin where there was an ore chute and load up the trucks and head back the road we hiked in on, a good 2 miles. So this is kind of like a quarry now, looking around here. So, and the tunnel is here to my right here in front of me, right there. Some kind of small storage tank here. It's got some pipes coming out of it and a rubber hose. And it ends here at this kind of, oh, it's just a coupling. Interesting. Don't know what that was used for. Never saw that before at an abandoned mine. That kind of a fitting. But maybe that was water, held water for the drills, I don't know. But the portal's right here. And people always ask, how do they know where to dig the tunnel? Well, a good example is right here. They saw this outcropping of talc. See the white rock kind of coming out of the hillside? It came out all the way probably to here where I'm standing. And so they dug right into it, and that's what they did. They found a pocket of talc, an outcropping, and that's where they dug the tunnel. So let's go check it out. And as you know, talc is not very stable. You can see all the fracturing going on here. It's very, very fractured and probably very loose. Look at the arch here in the portal. There's a hole right there. You can see through there. That's just waiting to come down, that little section right there. But yeah, here's looking back at that tank and looking across the ravine. So I have no idea how big this is going to be. It's got ore cart tracks, and yeah, just a big old talc deposit or soapstone. See this pipe to the right of the tracks? For those that don't know, we always see that in abandoned mines, and that is what they would either put water or I guess air for the drills. That's what that was used for. Okay, we're coming to a split here. Looks like the tunnel branches to the left. That's where the tracks go. And then something straight ahead, I'm not sure what that is. And something to the right. Kind of cool. Like I said, I have no idea what's in here and how far this goes. Got some valves here. There's a valve there, and then there's a handle on that one right there. And that keeps going. A lot of timbering in talc mines because it's so unstable. So you're seeing a lot of heavy timbering here. Oh wow. That is that's a stope. Kind of on an incline. I did notice higher on the hillside in direct line with the portal we just came in there might be another opening to this mine. I'm not sure, but that might go up there, but here's looking the other way. So let's continue down this rightmost tunnel. We'll see where this goes. Try not to trip on these pipes. Okay, yep, there you go. Look up there. There's daylight coming down. So yeah, there's daylight. See that right there in the center of the frame? So there is an opening, like I thought, higher on the hill. And that's what that leads up to. So this is like a big talc deposit, and they just made a stope, apparently, with these wooden chutes every, I don't know, every, I guess 40 feet maybe. Okay, the tracks here kind of do a little curve to the left. And wow, I'm actually really impressed with this. This was didn't think this was going to be all that much. Another tank. And again, pipes coming out of it. 2 pipes. Probably one to feed it, and then one for the outlet. Probably water. Looks like there's a plaque on here. I think that says Advance Welding Works, a corporation, Los Angeles, California. And that's just a dead-end drift, it looks like. Don't think that went anywhere. But look at all this white talc. Very white. So here's another one of these inclined ramps going up into the stope. This one has tracks. Oh wow, that kind of goes up there. There's some more timbering up there. I'm zooming into it. See that? You can see up here they used parts of dynamite boxes for wedges for the support timber that's right here in front of me. Same thing over here on the side. They packed the extra space with some explosives box remnants right there. And this is another one of those inclined chutes going up into the stope. Oh, there you can really see the daylight. There must be a big opening up there, like a fissure. So they call that, when a stope like that, a stope, for those that don't know, is the underground cavern that remains after the miners remove a large body of ore. In this case, it would be talc. And that void is called a stope. And if a stope goes to the outside like that one does, if it breaks through to the surface where you can see daylight, they call that an open stope. And when you're walking around on the hillside, you don't want to fall into an open stope because they can be hundreds and hundreds of feet deep. This one doesn't look to be that deep, but still, you wouldn't want to fall in there. But yeah, let's go back and check the other branches. So this big piece of metal here, you see this big metal plate? They would use that to, I guess, they would put that down on the tunnel floor when they were blasting, and then once the charges went off, the explosions, they would, all the rock would fall onto that metal plate, and it was easier to shovel into the ore carts to be taken outside. So that's what they use those plates for. And we're going to head back towards the main junction inside the portal and take the other branches. Yeah, this is turning out to be really cool. I was not expecting this to be anything, to be quite honest. I thought it'd just be like a short little tunnel and maybe 100 feet at the most, but no, it's got some workings. Here they used some drill bits for support. They stuck them in there, kind of around all the wooden timbering. They used what they had, I guess, whether it was pieces of dynamite boxes or parts of drill bits, whatever they had, they used and reused. So we're making our way back to the entrance here. Take the other junctions. Let's take another look up here. I don't think I had my full light on. There we go. It just goes up there and stops. Interesting. There's probably a side tunnel right there where my light is that connects up with the other inclined chutes that we've seen. Most likely they connect up that way. Here's looking up the first chute right inside the portal that goes up into the stope. That doesn't go to daylight. Right here is a Iris Blackberries. I never heard of that brand. I'll have to look that up and see what that dates from. I'm thinking probably 1960s, maybe 1970s. I think that's when these mines were last worked. But we have to go this way. There's the entrance. And we didn't go to the left yet. Okay, here's the left drift. Another wooden chute. Yeah, that kind of connects up with that other stope that's right inside the entrance. But look at all this talc. Snow white in color. And also very unstable. And I think we're coming to the end here. Here's more of these, what I think they call muck plates. Like I explained earlier, they put those down to shovel the rubble onto, made it easier to shovel the rubble into the ore carts to be taken outside. Here's the beginning of a stope. It only goes up, I don't know, about 30 feet, 35 feet. And same thing here, just a dead end. A lot of critter droppings here. Maybe a fox or something. A kit fox maybe, I don't know. Something might be living in here. But yeah, it just goes up to there. There's nothing to see. Doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, pretty impressive, all this talc. So yeah, they saw that outcropping on the hillside and decided to dig a tunnel into it, and look what they found underground. They found this huge talc deposit. So that's how they did it. I'm not sure what that is right there. There's a, oh, it's a rock. That's just an alcove. I don't think that went anywhere. As we're making our way back to the exit, you might be wondering what these big round holes are here in the tunnel wall. Those are the blasting holes for the dynamite, or what's left of them. So they would stick dynamite in there. They would drill those holes really deep and then pack the dynamite in there and then blast it. And what you're seeing there are the remnants of the original holes. And we're headed out that way.